So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the differences between Apple TV and Android TV and see which specific one is the better one for you. Now, here's the thing. I would say that there is so much overlap between both of these operating systems and both of these hardware, whatever hardware you're going to use on both, that it really doesn't matter which one you use at the, tail end of it. If you have an Android TV device or you have an Apple TV device, realistically speaking, for a majority of things you're going to do, you're basically going to be able to utilize both of these devices at the same exact situation. What I mean by that is if you're trying to watch a certain, show, if you're trying to watch a certain anything or trying to use a certain application, you're basically going to be able to watch almost the same amount of shows on both. Now, there are a slight few differences between both, but for the most part, if you have an Android TV or if you have an Apple TV device, you're pretty much almost watching the same exact shows for the most part, but there are a few differences. The first thing I want to state, the similarities. They are both very good operating systems, and they both can allow you to stream things from the box. So between both, you have very similar applications that you can choose from. Some of these are Netflix. You can watch YouTube videos on both, Prime Video, HBO Max. You can listen to Spotify on both of them. You have Hulu on both, Disney Plus on both. You have Peacock, I think, on both. And you also have the ability of watching Apple TV shows on both as well. So even that is a smaller difference than what we even had before. Before, I don't even know if, you could actually have, Apple TV on it. Now you actually have that type of capability, which again is actually very, very cool. Now, on top of that, there are a few differences even between the, games and stuff. I think the big difference here is that with Apple TV, you do have the capability of having Apple Arcade. So that is something that's actually really cool. And a lot of built-in specific things like, Apple Fitness Plus, Apple Music, those things are kind of suited more towards Apple TV. So that is kind of one thing to keep in mind. As well as the kind of, as well as the Apple ecosystem that you can kind of get enthralled in inside of Apple TV. That is also another big advantage. If you already have a lot of other Apple devices, even things like, your HomePods, you can actually use those as like a surround stereo for your TV or Apple TV. So that might be another thing that's kind of cool with something like the Apple TV, device. With Android TV, you do have a little bit, I would say not the same capability, but you do have a lot of capability here too. You still have lots of apps and games that you can kind of play from. So you have games like Crossy Road, you have other games that I probably will never play, but you have them on the Android TV device, which is cool. And to be fair, the Apple Arcade, I would never probably play games on there either. So kind of the same thing. It doesn't really affect me too much. You do have things like Chromecast built in inside of your Android TV, which is cool. You do have SharePlay and Airplay on your Apple TV, which is super nice. On top of that, if we're kind of comparing like the UIs on both, there's honestly a lot of overlap between the, the way the UIs look. I think for sure, in my opinion, I kind of like Apple TV a little bit more in terms of the way it looks. It looks a little bit more sleek, and I definitely do like the way it kind of performs. I would say it's a lot more smoother, I think, than Android TV. And I just like the way that specific device looks like. With Android TV, I definitely do think it reminds me a lot more of my Samsung TV, which is not a problem. I think, Android TV looks very good. It looks very nice, and even the slight differences, like the difference between Siri and Google Assistant, that's not even that big of a deal. You have, Google Assistant capability on your Android TV, but you also have Siri support on Apple TV. So even there is not like the massive difference that some people may kind of say. If you already have a preference, like if you like Siri or you like Google, Assistant more, then you can always go down that direction. But you have that type of capability of choosing. If you like Google Assistant, you can go down the Android TV route. If you like Apple TV, then you can go down that Siri route. So overall, what I'll definitely tell you is between both, I don't think there's like a clear winner here. I don't think there's like a device that's like, oh, this one is the one you have to buy. I think Apple TV is just the one that's a little bit more popular right now, but Android TV is very good. I like it a lot. And I would also still highly recommend buying one of those devices if you really want to. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.